I am Zach Sharpe, Director of Marketing for Stern Pinball.
Zach, I had so much fun playing John Wick with you at Comic-Con this past weekend. Can you talk a little bit about how that game came to be?
Yeah, so we have a really good relationship with Lionsgate, and it made perfect sense to, tackle the world's best assassin with John Wick. The fourth film was a massive worldwide hit, and everyone with Lionsgate and from the movie were just great to work with. We got custom speech from Ian McShane that really just adds to the whole environment. And then we have, special music from Charlie Benante from Anthrax fame. So again, you just get this high, intense, adrenaline-inducing pinball experience. And like you said, you had fun with it. And with Insider Connected, we kind of pushed it up even a bigger notch with, special badges and contracts. So you feel like an assassin, that you have to be ready at a moment's notice. So, we really wanted to transport people to that whole neon noir world under glass, and I think we nailed it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you to expand on that a little bit, because one of the things that's so impressive about Stern's games is how you're always trying to do something new and kind of push the envelope with each new machine. Can you talk about some of the ambitions or design goals that you had with John Wick?
Yeah, so on the software side especially, we definitely push the envelope of using kind of an AI combat system, which has never been done, where, just like in the films, enemies can just pop out of nowhere attacking you. You're John Wick, and all of a sudden you've got 8 people coming after you. So this whole kind of dynamic combat system keeps you on your toes, because, typically in pinball fashion, there's a shot lit, you hit it, you get some points, but sometimes it could be blocked by this enemy that's moving around the playfield. And it's really cool to kind of experience that adrenaline of, you didn't get that shot just yet because you have to battle the enemy first before unlocking the shot. So it feels fresh every time you play the game because it's never the same.
There's such a cool design ethos to the board too, the way that it moves into the city with the Continental in the background and the skyscrapers coming out. It makes all the rails feel like they're like freeway ramps that you go on and off. It has such a cool city layout. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we definitely wanted to kind of capture that, New York Continental vibe. And, again, the lead game designer, he wanted a fast flowing experience. There's some pinball machines that have a lot of stop and go, and he definitely did not want that. Now there's, moments where you can, lock a ball or start a job where the game will, tell you direction on what you're doing when you're battling the different factions or adversaries. But outside of that, when you're hitting those ramps and they're flowing, you're hitting the orbits, you're hitting the car, you're bashing the Continental, you don't have a moment to breathe because you're just constantly, attacking enemies, and you are an assassin.
The game also represents all 4 of the John Wick movies. Can you talk about the choices you made and how you tried to incorporate all the different movies and what some of the priorities were?
Yeah, so pinball is a unique gaming experience where you don't want to always go in linear fashion. And, spoiler alert, with the Continental in the fourth film, you can't necessarily have exactly what it is at the end of the fourth film. So it really just ties in the whole universe. So, working again with Lionsgate, they give us access to, all 4 films, which really helped flesh out the story, where you're just in this universe, you're battling the different factions. It doesn't matter if it's from the first film, the fourth film, it's not repetitive because you're not always going to go from point A to point B to point C facing the same battles, where it would get kind of monotonous, where with pinball, it's definitely more fluid and dynamic, and you want to have a fresh experience. So, you'll be battling different, Zero as an adversary or Ares, and you're kind of, it's not always in the same order to keep it fresh, and it feels like a unique experience every time.
There's so many cool little details, references to the different movies. One thing, one of the stories you told me that I was really impressed by was what you did with that coin. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so with the Blood Oath marker, Lionsgate gave us the physical movie prop, so the actual Blood Oath marker from the films, and we digitally scanned it, and it is as close to a 1-to-1 of the authentic Blood Oath marker is in the machine. So when it, kind of flies open and snaps shut, it looks, it is authentic.
That is very cool. Okay, so your games always have multiple versions. Can you talk about like the 3 different types of John Wick you can get?
Yeah, so we've got a Pro Edition, Premium, and Limited Edition. It ranges in price from $7,000, $9,700, and $13,000. So the Limited Edition, there's only 1,000. That's worldwide, sold out, so you might not be able to find those. But the Pro and Premium we will build for many years to come. The Pro has a few less moving parts, so that's a game that you might encounter out in the wild more on location. So at bars, arcades, breweries, family entertainment centers. And then the Premium has the bells and whistles of the LE. So you've got the Blood Oath marker that opens and shuts. You have a physical weapons crate that will open. You got a physical ball lock, and then the John Wick muscle car kind of fishtails out, so you can lock a ball behind it, you can bash it, it can swing out. So it definitely has a few more knickknacks.
Yeah, the bells and whistles.
Yeah,
cool. Can we talk quickly about Insider Connect and how our audience who might not be frequent pinballers, how can they find the game and how can they start playing?
Yeah, so Insider Connected, you can download the app for free, or if you encounter a Stern Pinball machine in the wild, there's a QR code that you can, set up your account free. And it's a great way to not only keep track of your kind of personal high scores, you earn in-game achievements. There's a location map, so you can search out wherever you are in the world, or you can just open up and it's like, man, I really want to play pinball. You open up the map, and you can find a pinball machine in places that you might not have even known they exist. And what's really cool with John Wick, we launched contracts and push notifications for the first time. So it was kind of very theme appropriate, where at a moment's notice, you're going to get a notification saying, hey, log in, play John Wick. And we have, a task, whether it's, start car multi-ball, hit a certain scoring threshold, and you'll earn a special digital badge. And sometimes it's limited, so it might only be like the first 100 people worldwide. You get it, you snooze, you lose. So you better, be ready, because like an assassin, you could be called at a moment's notice. It's not at your leisure. So it's a fun way to engage with the product in a different way.
Yeah, that's so fun. Just like in the movie, all the assassins get taking out their phones and getting their notification from Insider Connected.
Yeah, and I will say, I don't know when this interview is going to air, so this might be dated. Yeah. But with Insider Connected right now, we're doing a sweepstakes with Lionsgate of giving away a John Wick Pro pinball machine, and to enter, you just have to log into Insider Connected, and you can you can also sign up for an additional entry, which you can find on Stern social media. We have info and the links to how you can log in, but also sign for an additional free entry. So you as well, you better, sign in.
I definitely will.
So that's through August 7th. So
perfect. And then I also wanted to touch on the Godzilla. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So again, another great partner, Toho, we've worked with. We came out with Godzilla, I want to say 5 years ago. And, it's regarded as arguably the best pinball machine of all time. One of the biggest selling. And Toho made a real big celebration of Godzilla turning 70. And we kind of collaborated with them as, how it would be a cool way of celebrating, such an iconic figure with, we're still making the colored Pro and Premium editions of that machine. What's a way that we could celebrate it? And we came up with a black and white edition as a throwback to when, he first came across the silver screen. He was black and white. So we have a black and white color grayscale on the play field with red accents. So it really kind of pops. And we have special foil decal. So Mechagodzilla looks kind of metallic if you look in the certain light. Pictures and videos don't do it justice. I know you saw it in person, but it's beautiful. And it's just a nice homage to, such an iconic figure with such an iconic game that it was just a cool way to celebrate 70 years. So, we'll be building that all year and, to demand, but also make our original colored versions as well. So just options and ways to celebrate, the king of the monsters.
Yeah, I love that black and white machine, especially with that sort of shine on the side panels. It's just a beautiful looking machine. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it stands out, especially when you're next to other colorful games. It stands out even more.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on John Wick?
Get out and play. Maybe you'll win a game.
Thanks so much, Zach.
Thanks.